We all have done it. I've done it. You've done it. And what I mean by that is we all have had a coworker, a family member, a neighbor, or somebody that's trying to goad you as a Christian. They know you're a Christian and they're trying to goad you into to getting in your flesh, whether it be using profanity or looking at some pornography or doing something, whatever it might be. And we've all had it happen, and we've all sometimes dropped the ball. We all have come out of the bag. We all have used some profanity. We all have looked, uh, taken that second look, whatever. We've all failed. Absolutely. Because we're Christians. Being Christian does not mean that you're perfect. Being Christian does not mean that you're going to always prevail. Being a Christian does not mean that you are the hero of your story. You are not the hero of your story. You're not. Christ is. Jesus Christ is the hero of our story. It's not me. It's not the fact that I can live so great now. As a believer in Christ, I can dot all my I's and cross all my T's and look at me, look at me. No, no. I fail all the time, and quite a bit. But Christ still is wonderful. My salvation is still secure in my King. My King has bought my salvation, and I don't ever have to worry that I am not living up to it. Now, do I want to? Absolutely. Do I try my best? No question about it. Are my affections being turned away from my sin to Christ? Absolutely, all the time. However, the hero of my story is Christ. It is not Jason. The hero of your story should be Christ, not you. Now, the reason I'm going through that and saying that is because we're going to look at an example today of a young man, Christian YouTuber, who is being interviewed by an attorney. Now, I don't fully understand why they were having this conversation. It is pretty interesting. And if you find the link to the full video, I'll check it out as well. I know the lead attorney, he's the attorney in this situation. He usually does some pretty long videos. I just couldn't find it. But I was sent this little 12-minute segment. And I just want you to see what happens when we don't make Christ the hero of our story. Now, during the video, I did have some fun. There's several instances where I point out that he did not, the Christian YouTuber does not talk about Christ, and kind of like he fumbled the ball. And so there's some funniness in there, but I will take a few moments every now and then to actually comment on it. But we're going to just watch it and you just see. If you notice down below in the comments below, let me know if you notice something that maybe I missed. There are several instances that I feel like, man, I could have been nitpicking this thing for days, but I chose not to. Also, the lead attorney does not use good language. So I try my best to mute out his profanity every time he could. Every time I could, rather. If I miss some or whatnot, I do apologize for that. But it was not intentional, but it was just that it's just hard sometimes to edit that stuff out. So let's pull this up.
I don't know. Based on
All right, let's give this. I'm gonna get myself out of here and give these gentlemen an opportunity to make some noise.
I don't know. Based on the empirical evidence and based on my own experiences with single dads, I've seen
Oh, real quick, the lead attorney is a divorce attorney here in Atlanta, and he specializes, I believe, in mitigation. He specializes in helping men with their divorce cases.
many men go and fight for their kids and get 50% custody, get 75% custody, get their kids 5 days a week. The mom gets them 2 days a
You're
week.
saying that you see many men
Mhm.
get 75% custody.
Mhm.
How many is many, Ruslan?
All right, you already know. You can see it already. You can already see it in his face. He is not pleased with that statement.
A dozen. I know a dozen folks at my church that have their
Okay.
kids for 75% of the time.
All right. Were the moms the moms?
All right. And I think this is somewhere
Both moms and dads were.
he asked a very valid question. Were the moms bad moms? And Ruslan's going to answer, but I really think this is where, and you're going to see it's going to get pretty bad. If you've seen it, you know it got pretty bad. But he gets him over the barrel. he could have easily just explained it. But again, we're going to keep track of how many times he could have given a gospel message, a Christ-centric message, or even a biblical response. Like a biblical response is missing from this. But let's go.
Crappy parents. Nobody was on drugs in these situations. There was definitely adultery committed, but nobody was out here strung out on crack or anything like that.
How were they shitty moms?
I mean, when adultery's involved, I think that's pretty crappy to me. If someone's cheating on each other, if someone's not is being inconsistent, I think that's pretty crappy.
Like right here.
Sometimes both moms
example.
and dads were crappy parents.
Oh, wait. Sorry about that. This is a perfect example right there. The gospel could have been brought out instead of it saying, I think, because he says, I think. And I think that's exactly where the rubber met the road and the lead attorney sends blood in the water. Instead of saying what he believed or what he thought, he could have just said, this is what the scriptures teach.
Sometimes the moms check out too.
Guys, listen, this is another thing that we need to combat. You know, just because you commit infidelity does not mean you're a shitty parent. You can cheat on your wife and be the best father ever. You can cheat on your wife one time and really love your kids. Don't let anybody tell you.
See, my presupposition is that the nuclear family is the bedrock of our civilization.
As a Christian, I agree with you, Ruslan. I do agree with you. You are right. The nuclear family is a God-ordained institution that God ordained and God put in place. I agree with you. Why don't you say that, though? You say nuclear family. Now, mind you, I have not heard a Christian strongly stand up to or stand to his or her guns with the lead attorney. I've seen him make a lot of people buckle and waffle. So I'm not mad at Ruslan. I'm just saying, rather than point this out, because you're going to notice he's going to talk about I a lot. He's going to talk about his own steam quite a bit, rather than what the gospel actually teaches or what the Bible teaches. So let's just let him go, Jason.
So if somebody steps out on the very foundation of what makes the optimal environment for a child, I think that's very problematic.
Well, and see, that's another thing, right?
Like, again, I think that's very problematic. No, the scriptures teach something contrary to that. Just say what the scriptures teach. Ruslan?
Because you're assuming that two particular individuals raising a child is the optimal environment. And I'm telling you, as a divorce attorney, I will tell you that there are some people, there are men and women together that should not be together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so this is another example. Here comes.
I'm not talking about the divergence. I'm talking about optimally what's in it, what's best for the child, considering people are functional, stable humans.
Well, this is,
again, why not just say this is what the Bible teaches? Now, again, I'm not trying to say that he needs to turn this into a Bible study with the lead attorney or whatever like that, but why not just say this is what the scriptures teach? And I grab my ethics from the scriptures, because he's just going completely on his own. Again, he is the hero of his own story. Like, so this is a lot of my ideas, what I find out, so on and so forth, what I found, so on and so forth, rather than what the scriptures actually say. Give him room, Jason. Give him room.
This is what goes back to infidelity.
Mm-hmm.
But that does not mean that they don't love their kids.
So I never say they don't love their kids.
It sounded to me like you said that if a man commits infidelity, then he's, disturbing the foundation of the nuclear family.
I would say men and women. Yes, I would say when you are literally tampering with your marriage vows, then
again, tampering with your marriage vows. That's not the case. What it is that I vow before God. That's the thing. I for the life of me.
Yes, I think that's the low integrity thing to do.
It's absolutely unreasonable to think that if you sleep with someone else that is not your wife one time, that makes you a
I know you're putting words in my mouth.
You said that infidelity. I asked you.
Infidelity makes me question a man's character.
It's not questioning your character. It's what do the scriptures teach, though? What does the Bible say? He would be so better off if he just says, this is what the Bible says, because now he's got the lead attorney has him defending his position. He could just say the scriptures teach this. Now, whether or not the lead attorney accepts the scriptures, whether or not he believes that the 66 books of the Old and New Testament, that's beside the point. It would be all of the heavy lifting would be on the scriptures. not on Ruslan, because at the current moment, Ruslan is not doing too well, and we'll see him buckle in a moment. So rather than make it about him and his own steam, he could have and should have just put the weight back on scripture. That's why Christ is our king. He's our defense.
That's what I said.
No, I asked you.
If
No,
you're
I
married,
didn't say such. I'm
okay,
asking you specific stuff, and you're trying to
if
change
a
the
man,
words.
if a man and a woman are in a covenantal marriage and they've agreed to not cheat on each other, and they have a family, a nuclear family, and the flourishing.
It's not about an agreement. It's not about an agreement per se. It's I've covenanted before God. It's not just that my wife and I have shook hands and said, hey, I'm not going to cheat. You're not going to cheat. Okay, good. All right, sign this paper. That's not it. It's the fact I've stood before God. And he could say that. He could say that you make a vow before God. You stand before God and witnesses.
Of those children is for that man and wife to be loving towards each other for the optimal environment of those kids. And one of those people decides to break their vows, man or woman. Yes, I think that's a crappy thing to do as a human. That's a crappy thing
and nobody cares what you think, though, Ruslan. That's the thing. Like, if you did not say, I think, you could just say the scriptures teach. Remember Jesus in the wilderness when he was being tempted by Satan, he says, it is written. He didn't say, I think. I want, no, of course, he could have said, I think, but he said, it is written. It is written. This is what the Bible teaches. And I feel like because he did not do that, later on, it's going to get even worse.
You as a human, and yes, that would say, man, didn't really prioritize your marriage, which in my opinion comes before anything else.
I asked you what made the person, the father who got 75% of the custody, according to you,
Mm-hmm.
what made him get custody of the kids? I asked you, was it a shitty mom?
Mm-hmm.
You said that there were no drugs or anything involved. I said, was the mom? You said that there was some infidelity involved.
I think I said on both sides. I believe I said on both sides. But the point still stands. If one person cheats on their spouse, to me, makes me question them, and I think that's crappy behavior.
As a
so I'm not
parent.
backing this as a parent. I'm not backing that statement down. I would say that. So we could disagree on that. We could say, hey, you're saying people can cheat and they're great people, and I would say, yeah, I think if you're cheating, you're kind of a scummy person. We could agree to disagree.
No one's talking about a person. You keep changing it. I'm talking about
how is a person not a parent? Everything is intermingled. Who you are as a husband, who you are as a father, who you are as a friend. Character and integrity is it's all being one person, being one of integrity.
Again, I don't disagree with these statements that Ruslan's making. I don't agree with them because Ruslan's saying them, but because I believe the scriptures teach what he's saying. I just want him to say that. Like, if he said that, he would not have to be doing all this heavy lifting. And you're going to hear him walk back a lot of the things that he's saying emphatically because he did not make them he did not make his case from the scriptures, but from his own maturation.
It's not, can't compartmentalize, man.
Guys, don't listen to this. Guys, you can cheat on your wife.
And let me interject something. Lead attorney does this quite a bit. He speaks to the audience and tells them what to think. Sadly, he's now going to tell them, don't believe what Ruslan had said. And because of his audience, because of his appeal, there's a lot of people who feel like the lead attorney is going to say contrary things to what Ruslan and what Christianity teaches. However, because Ruslan didn't give a biblical response, it's gonna be a mess. Let me give him a little bit of room.
Integrity.
It's not, can't compartmentalize, man.
Guys, don't listen to this. Guys, you can cheat on your wife and be a great father. Do not ever, do not ever let anyone tell you that if you have sex with some damn random stripper, now it's all intermingled and you can't be a great father. That is bull.
Are great fathers men of integrity?
Okay, see, let's real quick. He could have easily, because Ruslan could easily point out that scripture's full of men who failed. The Old Testament is chock full of men who violated their marriage vows, but were decent parents. Come on, but even in that, you don't have to be a decent parent or primarily a great parent to raise good kids. I mean, you don't have to be a spot on, dotting every I, cross every T type of parent, but that's what Ruslan kind of makes the case. And well, how can you do that? How can you be a great parent? I know I'm flawed. I know I'm not perfect. How can I be a great parent on my own steam? Because it sounds like I'm doing this on my own steam.
Great fathers love their children.
Are great
and
fathers men of integrity? Are they men of character? Do
I
they
don't
let
know
their
what
yes
a
be yes and their no be no?
I don't know what a man of integrity is.
That's a very simple question. I'm the same person. I give you my word. We show up. We break bread. I don't talk about you behind your back. I don't cheat on you.
Do you lie?
I don't lie. No, I don't.
Okay.
Have
You ever
lied?
Are you a man of integrity?
Absolutely.
Have you ever lied?
Yes, I've lied, but not to my wife.
Here it comes. Here it comes. This is where I say it's going to get real bad. It's going to get real bad. They done hit the iceberg, and the lower half of the ship is already flooded. This is going to get bad.
About cheating on her.
No. You said lie. Now you're trying to define the lie.
Yes.
Have you lied before?
Yes.
Have you lied more than 10 times in your life? Have you lied more than 100 times?
You're doing the Ray Comfort thing.
No, I'm asking questions.
Yes.
You've lied more than 100. Wait,
I haven't lied recently. I haven't lied in the last, year.
Have you lied more than 100 times?
Sure.
But you call yourself a man of integrity.
See, there it is. And it's bad. It's going to get, it's going to get worse. The shellacking has only started. And instead of saying like, yes, I'm flawed. I fail all the time. I sin when I don't want to sin. I lie when I don't even know why I'm lying. Like, he could have just said that and pointed to the hero of the story. But he's trying to make himself the hero of the story. He's trying to make himself sound better. And I don't fault him, because I know all of us have done it. We've all tried to, yes, I don't do that. I'm above that. The hoi polloi, I'm so much better. No, we're flawed. And he could have said, like, man, I'm jacked up. Just like the guy that got 75% or whatever like that, he's jacked up. The mom that got 100% or 25% of custody, she jacked up. All of us jacked up. You jacked up too, lead attorney. Don't you believe the gospel? And I mean, he could have easily flipped that thing on his head, but nope. He's going to keep trying to, it's going to get ugly.
Yes, because I am not a liar. I don't consistently go on lying. I don't lie to my spouse. I don't lie to my kids. Right. So you can compartmentalize. I think that's a fair statement. You want to compartmentalize. I'm saying I don't think you compartmentalize. I think a man is consistent through and through in who they are in their home, who they are outside their home, who they are when they're with their boys, who they are when they're out, who they are at work. I think. Did
you have the same character when you were lying as you have right now?
This one right here. This one has to be the. Just let it go. Let it go, Jason.
Or did you change characters?
Did I change characters when I lied?
Yeah, you said you lied more than 100 times, right? In your life?
In my lifetime. In my lifetime.
Did you get a new character, or is this the same you?
My character's been refined. Yes, my character. Does your character not get refined? Do you not improve as a person? Do you not chisel yourself away into the type of person that can be optimal to lead?
So
who's the hero in Ruslan's story? And again, I'm not faulting Ruslan. I don't want it to sound like I'm just coming off the top rope on him. But who's the hero? Who is the hero in this story? It's Ruslan. I've refined myself. I've honed in my skills. I got consistent with my values. That's all him. Why would I need Christ? Why would the lead attorney need Christ now? Because he's probably he feels like he's a man of high value, high integrity. He feels like he dots all his I's and crosses all his T's.
When did you become a man of integrity? At what age?
30s, my 30s. When I
got converted. Why not say when I came to Christ, Christ took my old nature, gave me a new nature, gave me a new heart, and replaced with my stony heart. Why not do the great exchange? Why not? Oh my gosh.
First kid, really locked in. I became congruent with my values. I grew.
So after the age of 30, you never lied.
See?
I can't think of something that I've lied about.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
So in 8 years, you've never lied one time.
I don't know if I've never lied one time.
Guys, listen, but you're a man of integrity.
You're getting into the minutia of
no, I'm following on what you're saying.
And I'm saying a person of integrity
doesn't lie.
Is all consistently the same person. I do my very best to not lie.
Does a person of integrity lie?
No. I don't remember the last time I told a lie, man.
I'm just asking you. You say that a person of integrity does not lie.
Correct.
And you've been a person of integrity for 8 years.
For a couple years, yes. I've been
a couple or 8. A couple is 2.
We'll call it 8. 8.
So in 8 years, you have not lied one time.
See, instead of making himself the hero of the story, he could easily just say, yes, I fail all the time. I don't tell my wife everything I do. I don't tell my kids where we're going to go. I drop the ball. And I mean, lying is one of them, but I mean, we could talk about countless others. He could just be upfront and transparent, but no, he is the hero of this story. And I'm sorry, it's going to get, I had to tell you, it's actually going to get worse.
I don't remember.
Guys,
I don't remember. I don't remember lying. I don't remember. I don't remember that. Well, okay. So you're talking about the lying. Okay. Let's talk about cheating. That's what I brought up. You think cheating is okay?
I think you can cheat on your spouse and be an excellent parent at the.
Let me also just say real quick, I disagree with the lead attorney. I'm not saying that he sees no problem with infidelity or adultery in marriage. Of course, I totally 100% disagree with him. Ruslan disagrees with him as well. I believe Ruslan holds to the biblical ethic of marriage and the biblical standard for marriage and husbands in relationship with their wives and wives and husbands in relationship with their husbands. I believe that. So I got no problem there. Ruslan just needs to say that though.
Same time.
Can you cheat on your spouse and be an excellent human?
What is an excellent human?
A solid, stable, stand-up individual you would want to do business with. Would you want to do business with someone that you know is perpetually cheating on their wife?
I have absolutely done business with people. I've absolutely done it.
Which is different.
I have absolutely done it. And maybe you do too. Maybe you do. Maybe you have done business with people who have cheated and you don't know. Do you think
when I found out someone has cheated that we stopped doing business?
Exactly. When you found out.
Yeah, when I found out.
Maybe you didn't find out.
Partnering with people that are.
See, again, like Ruslan is making himself, and I've done it. All of us have done it. Ruslan is making himself super Christian. Like I'm when I find out somebody's cheating, I don't do business with them. Well, lead attorney is pointing out the clear and obvious point. Do you really say that you're doing? Ruslan is in music. So you're really saying that every producer that you've dealt with is faithful to their wives? How do you know that? What conversations are you having? Like I could see the lead attorney dragging him for months over this. Like at what point, how do you know the person that sold you the audio cables or the person that does your lights or whatever is faithful to their spouse? How do you know that? And then even more than that, are you trying to tell me that the best the people that do work for you, all of them are faithful and you don't work with those that don't? Are you really going to go there? I mean, the lead attorney could really just skewer him and just roll him around.
Cheaters. I think that's a low-level character development.
Would you partner with someone who's a liar?
No, someone that's a perpetual liar. Absolutely not.
No, I didn't say perpetual. You're adding words. Okay. Would you partner with someone who is a liar?
You're
guys. This is what I'm saying.
Back up. Because what you're doing is you're saying a lie as a broad generality, and we both.
You're saying cheating.
No. Yeah.
Cheating is a broad generality.
Very specific. I'm saying putting your penis in another person.
No.
See, this is where, and I'm gonna back up just a little taste. This is where Ruslan, again, he does a poor job. Like the scriptures actually are far more strict than saying male to female penetration is cheating. No, it's saying even looking at them. Like the Bible is like Christ came off the top rope on us. Come on. There's nothing you can do. And so watch what he does.
You're
guys. This is what I'm saying.
Back up. Because what you're doing is you're saying a lie as a broad generality, and we both.
You're saying cheating.
No. Yeah.
Cheating is a broad generality.
It's very specific. I'm saying putting your penis in another person.
No, that's not what
very specific. Now you're saying
you're adding that.
We know there's totally
cheating can be kissing. Cheating can be that's not your wife's boob. think that's cheating?
All of that is trash. But
no, I didn't say it's trash. Let's be very specific. Is that cheating?
I'm saying it's all wrong.
You're saying it's wrong. Is it cheating? Why is it so hard to answer questions?
It's cheating. It's cheating.
I believe right there, Ruslan is saying wrong because he knows that it's biblically sin. Like it is a sin. The problem is he's just saying wrong. I think he could have said and should have said, hey, this is a sin. And biblically, why? Again, the lead attorney, I don't believe, is espousing any form of Christianity. He might run him over because he did that. But at least Ruslan is making the scriptures the hero. Christ is the hero of the story, rather than this is what I'm thinking. This is what I've come to. Let's let him finish.
Cheating. It's cheating. If I French kiss another woman, it's cheating, bro.
All right. So you're not just talking about penetration then. You're talking about something that's much more.
Your tongue doesn't end up in another woman's mouth, just like your penis doesn't accidentally end up in another woman's mouth.
It can be a lot of things.
Now, when we're talking about cheating, tongue, rubbing on a booty, rubbing on a titty, all of that is cheating and it's completely out of pocket. Now, there may be different consequences and every relationship may be different. Some people got open relationships, but it's all the same thing. And let's not be disingenuous. And
I think, like, even in that, though, Ruslan undercut himself because he's saying open relationships. Those are biblically in error. So to even speak on it as if it's okay or valid is a problem. And he did that to himself, though. Just talking. He could have just said, this is what the scriptures teach.
And act like a white lie to protect somebody's feelings because you don't really want to tell them that their outfit is trash is the same as lying to your wife. You know that's not the same thing. We know that's not the same thing.
So now you have different categories of lies. Is that what you're saying?
We know there's different categories of life. Just like
which lies do you tell most? Tell us the category of lies that you tell.
I will omit stuff from I've omitted stuff from.
No, not omissions. You keep guys. I don't know why it's so hard. Then call it a lie. Just call it a lie.
Okay, that's a lie.
You called it an omission. I'm talking about lies.
You said, what kind of lies do I tell? I said omitting something that you don't want to tell somebody because you don't want to hurt their feelings. That's technically a lie. We all do that. Do we not?
I don't think that's technically a lie.
Okay, so here's the issue. Ruslan is, again, qualifying sin, and it doesn't, the scriptures don't do that. He could just, again, put it on the scriptures, put it on the Bible, put the heavy lifting on Christ, not on him. Because, again, going back just a little bit, I'm going to rewind just a taste. This little exchange was good.
Do we not?
I don't think that's technically a lie.
Omitting something that's true, and somebody asks you something and you don't tell them the truth is lying.
Because all we're doing is talking, but you have to be precise.
Sure.
Because if you're not precise, the stuff gets all turned around.
That's fair. And I feel like I was very precise about the cheating thing and how that.
Yeah, you said that you haven't lied in 8 years, but now you're walking that back. Now you're talking about now.
We're talking about black and white lies. Yes. So let's can we move on? Is that okay? Or you
shout out to Ruslan, man. Let's get off the high seat, man.
I see why they pay you the big bucks, man. Honestly, I see why they pay you the big bucks.
Man, I'm laughing because the lead attorney played him. He played him. Let me get a horn in there. Shout out to the lead attorney handling Ruslan like that. No, but let's just be honest. I mean, this was a great opportunity to see why we have to make less of ourselves. We have to make less of ourselves and make more and make much of Christ, much of the gospel, much of the scriptures, for crying out loud. And here we saw Ruslan. Again, I don't fault him. So I know if Ruslan sees this, I'm not mad at you. I'm not dogging you out or anything like that. I think we all fall short. We all fail. That's why our God's grace is so amazing, that even when we fall short, even when we're trying to clout chase, or even when I'm trying to look good in front of somebody and I totally face plant, I know that I can go back to my King and he'll forgive me. I know that he will give me the grace to do better next time. Not so I can beat my chest and say I'm great, but so that I can point to him and say, I know how flawed I am. That's the beauty of the gospel. Like, he knows how much we don't dot every I, we don't cross every T, and he still puts up with us. That's amazing. So this was just I hope that you all were able to see here. I'm not dunking on Ruslan or anything of that nature, and I'm not condoning the lead attorney. I think his show is entertaining sometimes. I don't believe that. I don't like the way that he presents facts a lot of the time. I don't think that he has considered his own soul. So I do pray for him that he does, in fact, consider his soul. Um, and I pray for Ruslan that he will give that gospel message, even in these instances where it is clear and demonstrative. And let the lead attorney, let somebody else wiggle in their seat, like, oh man, I got to deal with this Christ thing. I got to deal with my own sin. I got to deal with my own wretchedness. Boy, that would be amazing. So I thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the description below. You will see the link for this video so you can watch it yourself. I did cut out a little bit so you can see all that without all my silly graphics popping up, as well as you'll see. Let me know down below what you thought about it. Until next time, everybody, grace and peace.